How's it going, everyone? We're back with the Griff Slayer podcast. It's me, Zlaya, otherwise known as Henry. We're here accompanied by Ryan.
Hello, everyone.
He'll be joining us today because Griffin was not able to was not able to be here for the Money in the Bank after show review and how we feel about the matches. So let's get started. It's 10:44, so the pay-per-view actually didn't even last 4 hours, 3.5 hours, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, I thought it was a pretty decent show. How do you feel about the show overall?
Overall, I give it a B plus, maybe.
I would give it like a B. A B.
Yeah.
I give it a B. We'll start off
Yeah.
with the most recent match because we literally just finished the pay per view and just started recording right now. The Money in the Bank men's ladder match. That match was one of my favorite matches of all time with the Money in the Bank.
So much emotion.
It
I
was
can't handle it.
really good, man. From when it started to when Randy Orton was like the Viper, and how he was like literally he showed his experience because these were like what I got from it was that his experience showed that he's been in so many Money in the Bank matches that all these young guys, they're so eager to get in there and they're always destroying their body while he's outside waiting for them to make a
Yeah.
mistake and just capitalize on it.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was great. I thought between
Oh.
Andrade, Cien, between Andrade,
Wha-
Finn Balor, um, is what's his name, Ricochet, and Mustafa Ali. That I thought they were all gonna have a great showing, and realistically, it kind of blew it out the water. Mostly, like I like how they kind of built the feud up a little bit more between Andrade and Finn Balor. How they were kind of targeting each other for a little bit, and even that power bomb across when the ladder was stacked up one against each other, and
Oh my God.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy. I thought
That
the ladder
was
was gonna break, and I
insane.
think it hurts more that it didn't break. So for
Yeah.
those people that don't know, they were both on top. Andrade does a flip, tosses him over onto another ladder. You see Finn Balor's poor body ricochet, like literally, pun intended. He like hits it, he bounces back up, and then hits the ladder again. Poor Finn's back. This whole match took a lot of bumps between Drew McIntyre slamming on him on something, Baron Corbin slamming him on another ladder, and then Drew McIntyre picking up Andrade and slamming, like grabbing. What's that thing where he like grabs him by the legs and he flips him onto the mat when he did
Oh,
that. He did
dude,
that to
that
Finn.
was insane.
Yeah, poor Finn's back, man. I'm gonna say I'm a little disappointed by Ricochet. I expected a better showing, but maybe I'm just spoiled by him at this point because when he first appeared in the NXT Takeover back in New Orleans last year, he had an amazing freaking like time. It was awesome to watch that dude.
Oh, yeah, dude. He is like up and coming. Like, I think he's going to be one of the bigger stars, but I feel like he might just get buried after this. I don't know.
No, no, no. He's too much of a star. Like I don't. If you waste Ricochet, you really don't know how to use talent because that is the like. It's like basically like I don't even know what to say. He's just so awesome. I find something hard to not like about Ricochet.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good guy. Just their booking decisions are garbage, so you
They
never
are
know.
garbage. I 100% agree. We'll talk about that later right now in this match. So the match was awesome. I liked that how Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre, like they always like it happened before like they already end up punching each other or like they ended up fighting, but like Baron got him and then he threw him out and then Drew got him out or Drew gave him the Claymore kick. I thought that was cool. And then when
Yeah.
I really thought it was almost over, and like, oh, we didn't explain. So Sami Zayn was in this match, but then he was supposedly attacked backstage, and supposedly by Braun Strowman, but Braun Strowman said he doesn't know anything about it. So I'm assuming it's Brock Lesnar. So, so it's seven men
Yeah.
in the match. They were said that they might be somebody to take the spot or not. So a little bull. My last couple minutes of the match, like it's awesome. Like this is like I said, this is an awesome match. And then Brock Lesnar's music hits as Mustafa Ali is like on the ladder about to reach for the briefcase. So Brock Lesnar hauls butt in there. He like shoves a ladder. I don't know if you noticed this. He shoved the ladder and he hit like the cameramen on the side and they all fell.
Yeah, they got destroyed.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Hilarious. And then Brock Lesnar stays up there. Poor Mustafa, he threw him off, and when they shot his camera after the match was over, like he was bloody. There was a lot of blood today, like a lot
Oh,
of blood.
yeah. Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, but I
Gory
don't mind.
match.
Yeah, it was a great match, and then Brock Lesnar won. So like, it just gave me a sour taste in my mouth because it ultimately was just to have him face because he has to be at Super Showdown basically just because they have to have the big stars. So
Yeah.
he basically just set up that was all to set up a Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins match at Super Showdown, which I think is such a waste in the Money in the Bank contract. Oh my god, I think it's
Yeah,
terrible.
it is. I mean, one was cashed in tonight. We'll talk about that later on. But I mean, that just sets up another match, which is a waste on the card.
Yeah, which it isn't even a waste in the card. It was like, what was the purpose of this? You literally could have built up Super Showdown any other way. Why that way?
Yeah, I mean, there's other opportunities like that. That's just, I mean, it makes no sense to me at all.
No,
And just
yeah,
another like Vince's boy is always going to be Brock, and just I kind of expect something like this tonight. Didn't expect it this way. So
no, not at all. So, I mean, literally while we were watching that match, I was thinking to myself, I was like, you know what? I've been complaining a lot about Baron Corbin, but he's really been doing some pretty cool stuff in this match, like really playing his role, really being fun. And then I'm like,
yeah,
I'm not upset with whoever wins. Whoever wins, I'm excited to see them win. And then Brock Lesnar comes out, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
I felt the
Really?
same way.
Like, of all the people, bro, like, seriously?
I
So,
know
you're Mr. Money in the Bank going to Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia in 2 weeks, which is a waste of a whole fucking pay per view. Sorry for that bum, but a waste of a whole pay per view
it
because
is.
it's built up around a whole pay per view, and both of them cashed in tonight, and we know how the other one's gonna be cashed in. Brock Lesnar, kind of regret watching the show, but there were some great matches. So that was the first thing we want to talk about. I'm gonna pass it over to Ryan to talk about the pre-show.
All right, so usually when there's pre-show, there's what maybe 2 or 3 matches, right?
About that.
One freaking match. One match. A non-title match because this stupid wild card rule. Usos, who are on Raw, versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan on SmackDown. Wait, I mean, just pathetic that they could have done so much better. Not really much action at all. Usos came out and kind of made fun of them. They came out and called them SpongeBob and Patrick, picking on them somehow, and typical suicide dives, super kick, and pin them quickly. And I mean, that was it. And then on the panel, not much really. I mean, just a horrible pre-show.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I didn't watch it. I was unfortunately busy with school. I was finishing up some classes.
Yeah,
I
I
got to
got you.
cover for it, but yeah, I
But it
don't know.
was
Usually they do two matches. I thought that match was gonna be a title match, which
they
apparently it wasn't.
could have done the cruiserweight one there, but they put that in the middle of the card, which I don't
You
like the
know,
cruiserweights. I'm
I
sorry.
appreciate that they put the cruiserweight title on the match because you know what, like I feel like those guys don't get enough, and they really work really hard. But we'll get to that
Yeah,
later on. All right,
yeah, but
so
that's pretty much it, man. I mean,
yeah,
that was just a horrible pre-show.
yeah. So it kind of sucks to see Daniel Bryan at like one of the top matches of WrestleMania to like the next pay per view on the pre-show.
Yeah, but
But
I
it
mean,
is what it is. They'll build
they
it up.
got the title. Yeah,
Yeah. So the first match of the night was the women's Money in the Bank match. It was Naomi, Mandy Rose, Bailey. Who else am I missing? Dana Brooke, Carmella. It was a good number of women, and Talia. So I thought it was one of the better Money in the Bank women's matches. There were a lot of good spots, a lot of good wrestling. Oh, and Nikki Cross, I apologize, taking Alexa Bliss's spot for
I love
being.
Nikkei.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, dude.
I thought it was a fun match. I thought it was really interesting towards the end when Mandy Rose like was down and Sandy Deville,
Yeah, that
Sonya
just
Deville,
shows.
yeah, like
It
was
just
like was like trying to help her out. I thought it was gonna be like a whole like James Elmsworth with Carmella thing, which I was okay with because I expected Mandy Rose to win.
yeah,
But I thought it was cool. Um, Apparently she didn't know. Bailey came in. She knocked them both down as when they're on top of the ladder. So I want to see like it's furthering Sonya Deville's like frustration with Mandy Rose eventually, which I would like to see because that seems they're pretty cool and they're entertaining to watch. So
oh
Bailey
yeah,
won the women's Money in the Bank match. As we'll get later on in the night, we'll see what happens. Actually cashes in tonight. Whoever who's listened to this probably already watched it.
yeah,
It was a pretty decent match. I don't think it was a great match. I thought it was a decent match, but it was better than the ones that we've seen in the past. So I'll take it.
absolutely.
So next segment is Sami Zayn goes to the back to talk to Triple H. You know, he's being like all hysterical, all like panicky. Obviously, anyone would be, especially in WWE, saying that Braun Strowman is going to come after him, and Triple H reassures him. He goes, "There's no worry. We've already banned him from the building because you know that always works. That always works so well." So next is Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe for the U.S. title match. It's a 2-minute match. It's quick. A lot of hard-hitting action. At one point, Samoa Joe gets hit in the face and he starts bleeding. and then what is basically Rey Mysterio does what the part where he does with the 619. He does like that power bomb position and then flips it around to like a hurricanrana and pins him. But
Yeah,
Joe's shoulders weren't down at all, like not even close.
yeah.
So go ahead, go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I just want to say the refs tonight botched everything.
I
Worst.
thought this was a botch. I
Yeah,
genuinely thought this was a botch. And then like as I was online, I read that this was actually the same ref that messed up the WrestleMania main event with Becky Lynch and Ronda,
I'm not surprised.
which I was like, wow, this is really stupid. Like I can't really believe this happened.
Yeah,
I was like, oh well, it is what it is. I like that they kind of rushed through some matches though. So basically, they count to three. Rey Mysterio is champion. Rey Mysterio can't believe it. Honestly, like that's how I could tell. It was kind of like I don't know. I couldn't tell if to believe it or not. He was like upset about it. And then his son comes out. They celebrate, and like I saw Samoa Joe leaves, and I'm like, oh, okay, so like I guess this wasn't a botch. But then he comes back out to attack him, and he attacks Rey Mysterio multiple times in front of his own son, which that was cool. This is what it is.
yeah. Now, can I say one thing real quick?
Go ahead, go ahead. You don't have to
Um,
ask, but just go ahead.
if I don't know if I'm correct, but does this mean Ray's a Grand Slam champion now?
Yes, he is a Grand Slam champion. That was the last championship that he had to win before becoming a Grand Slam champion.
What a career he's had so far, man.
Yeah, I think it's winding down. Still a great competitor and
Yeah.
everything, but you know, he's just a great person overall.
Oh yeah.
So next segment is actually them like you see Triple H running to the back, and they see Sami Zayn tied up like back upside down,
Yeah.
and I thought it was really cool because Triple H was like, "Get the cameraman out of here! Get out of here, Lewis!" And he pushes him. The poor cameraman just trying to do his job, make sure he gets a scoop, and poor Sami
Right.
Zayn is upside down. Later on in the night, it's revealed that Sami Zayn can't continue. They sent him to a local hospital. So turns out it was Brock Lesnar apparently, which I guess I don't know why he tied him upside down. All he had to do was beat him.
I mean, I thought it could have been Bray Wyatt, but
I
I
I,
guess they're not
I,
gonna.
I thought
Oh.
Bray Wyatt, I thought Aleister Black, and I'm like whoever it is, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, same.
Actually, I forgot to
I,
mention, and one of the in the spot in the spot when Andrade flips Finn Balor into a ladder that we talked earlier about.
mhm.
The crowd goes, I don't know if you heard it, they go, Yowie Wowie. That's their chant.
Oh my god, I didn't hear that.
That was hilarious. I thought it was awesome. I just really thought it was cool.
Yeah,
So we have Shane versus The Miz up next. I thought it was just a match. I don't know why they did it in a steel cage, especially at Money in the Bank. Like, couldn't we have
yeah,
that at Extreme Rules or something? But I got the notes right here. Shane quickly tries to get out, but Miz was in control until Shane gets his yes kicks or his it kicks, I guess you can call them, and
yeah,
slams him against the stupid against the steel cage. So at one point, this is where me really mad. At one point, like they're in a submission, and I think Shane grabs the rope, and the ref doesn't let it go. But then all of a sudden, like later on, Miz hits his skull crushing finale on him, and the ref is just like he grabs the ropes, and the ref is like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Like that was really stupid. Like that makes the refs look so incompetent. They look like Red Shoes from New Japan or any ref from New Japan, which I love New
yeah.
Japan, but the refs there are retarded.
Because it's no DQs, and you can't like when they hit the rope like that. That should have been a 3 count right there.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, but like that was
So
so stupid. He could have just kicked out.
yeah,
He could have just kicked out.
yeah. So that was another botch.
So then they end up climbing the steel cage. Miz basically drops the. I don't know if you saw it. We probably did. Miz
Yeah.
drops Shane, and then Miz goes to the side to hit a frog splash, and it was so ugly. It was like the ugliest frog splash. It literally looked like he did like a demented DX sign. He was just like he just grabbed it real quick, slammed it on his crotch, and then just did some weird like he didn't even like. It was just weird. It was terrible. So they climb back up this ladder. He hits the pin. He obviously kicks out. Shane gets up to the top. They both like he's teasing like a superplex kind of on the top of the cage, but ends up slipping out and like beating Miz again. Like that was just a weird match. It was kind of a waste of time. It's a weird match. I thought it was good in the beginning, but then the rest of it was just like weird.
Yeah, and even at the end when he, like, slipped out of the jersey, I
Yeah,
kinda thought that was kind of a botch too, because like, that just didn't seem like it was supposed to end like that.
it's just a lot
I
of weird
was
endings.
yeah,
Well,
disappointed.
very. So next they announced that Mick Foley will be announcing a new title at, and they said new. So I was with you. I was
Yeah,
assuming it was the hardcore title.
hardcore title back because, Mick Foley's hardcore.
I thought that too, but they said new.
Yeah.
They said so. I don't know. They said new title. I was like, all right, whatever.
I mean, what can they bring out as a new title? Like, what kind of
The triple tag team title. I don't know.
mm,
They're just handing titles away anymore. I know. I don't really care about them anymore.
yeah. You get a title, and you get a title. You won't get a title.
Basically, yeah, that's how it goes. So so that goes happens. Now we have the cruiserweight title match with Tony Nese, where he retains against Andrade. Not Andrade. What's his guy name?
Uh, Aria Davari, I
Arya
think.
Davari. Thank you.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty decent match. It was like weird in the beginning because like Arya Davari and like Tony Nese really for a long time they weren't anything, and now they're like made of it in their program basically.
Yeah.
I
Top
mean,
guys, cruiserweights.
yeah, the crowd was dead for this match. Oh my god, they were dead. I don't know if you noticed it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There was like no sign of a crowd whatsoever. Towards like I would say 3/4 of the match, the crowd really got into it, and I will like give them a hand for that. Like that's impressive to get a dead crowd to like actually like you and want to watch your match.
Oh, yeah. But
So
if you look back
mhm.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
If you look back at the history of pay-per-views in Hartford and in any show in Hartford, they have the deadest crowds ever. They're just so dull, and you think, you know, that's what it's based at, like, it would be bigger crowds, but they don't care.
I guess that it's just not a big like scenery town. I guess you can say they're not as
No.
rowdy as you would say Philadelphia or New York or California Staples Center.
Yeah, it's a small town.
Mhm. So Triple H goes up to Braun. He says, I know what you did. Just confess. I'm not gonna ban you. I'm not gonna call the cops. I'm just gonna ask you to leave as professional to professional." And Braun Strowman goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." And I mean, I believe them most of the time when they say that. Like, they're actually true. You know, like guys like to gloat. Like, yeah, I beat him up. Like, I did this. I did that. Like, nah, he didn't do that. He just said, I didn't do it. So we found out later on it was Brock Lesnar. So next we had Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans. Becky, two belts. That's the last time we'll ever be able to call her that.
For now.
Probably. She's like the next Stone Cold. She'll probably be chasing the title for a little bit.
Yeah.
So Becky Two Belts comes out, and she faces Lacey Evans in a very boring match, I would have to say. I thought it was. I thought the beginning was better than the ending. When she made her tap out, like I was like, "Good, this is over."
Yeah.
What'd you think about the match?
Um, it could have gone better. I mean, you know, and that was Lacey Evans' first pay-per-view match, so it's an okay start. But, I think it's good that Becky won because this can lead up to more of a storyline between the two of them on Raw now. So I definitely can see them like it's like a you know Stone Cold versus Jericho type of thing.
Hmm.
So we'll see how that goes.
Maybe. All right. And then, so Becky makes Lacey Evans tap out with the disarmor, and then Charlotte Flair comes out, which is intelligent on Charlotte Flair's part, obviously.
Yes.
But if I was a champion, I would be like, no, you're the challenger. You're gonna wait. You're gonna wait till like maybe halfway down the road. But Becky doesn't do that. They have a match. Becky loses to Charlotte, which really wasn't too surprising. And then
No.
Charlotte ends up beating on Becky, like beating her down, until guess what? To the save is the Money in the Bank winner, Bailey, and she saves her, and then and then Charlotte goes for a spear, and then she misses, hits the turnbuckle. She's out for like forever. Bailey cashes in. She does like the flying elbow drop, and 1, 2, 3, your new women's SmackDown champion, Bailey. So I mean that was
I
cool.
mean, I'm happy that she won because it's good to see her, in a title again. Since the whole Sasha Banks thing, which
Yeah, but like I don't know, man.
she's gone, but
It was just weird. It was just like, is this what we're gonna do every Money in the Bank? Like someone cashes in, leaves out like so basically whoever goes into the Money Bank first, and if you're a champion, does that mean you're basically bound to lose that title that night?
I mean,
Because that's what
there's a
they're
good
making it seem like.
there's like 80% chance now.
I guess, jeez. So because they did it last year and they did it the year before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So so that happened. Um, Bailey's energy. I don't know if I was Bailey as a babyface, the way I would have done it or the way I would have booked it is basically Bailey has to like basically like set up a road to WrestleMania, but for SummerSlam. Bailey wins it.
Yes, like drag
Bailey,
it out.
well, yeah, like drag it out, and Bailey would be like, "Listen, I'm gonna beat every girl here, and I'm gonna cash in at SummerSlam. I'm cashing my opportunity at SummerSlam. So I'm gonna show every single person here that I'm worthy of beating, of of I'm sorry, of being able to be champion. Because this is what you build up Bailey. You haven't built her up at all. Now she's just champion, and it just seems like a weird victory.
Yeah, I mean, what they could do is like now she can do a few title defenses and maybe have a big match at SummerSlam or any other pay per view. I mean, it just does seem kind of rushed. So
I think it's just because of everything that happened at WrestleMania. I mean, we're
yeah,
only like a month away from WrestleMania. What happened?
yeah,
So Baylor's your new champion. We'll see what happens there. Not really super stoked about it, but it is what it is. Um, Next we had Elias and Roman. So Roman, you see him walk into the ring. Elias ambushes him, hits him with the guitar, which I don't know how much money Elias is making, but these guitars are pretty expensive.
yeah.
So I mean, he's got some money or so whatever. Well, he smashes on his back. He comes out to perform a song. Roman comes out. They start the match, and it's a one spear match, which is the perfect way to do it because this is basically just a throwaway match that nobody cared about. That we all knew Roman was gonna win. So
Yeah. Yep. And now it's his yard on
yeah,
SmackDown.
yeah, well, yeah, sure, his ride. Is what it is. And then, so from here, the match, though, I was giving this pay per view like a pretty like bad grade. I was just like, I'm not like really into this. But then it reminded me of what was coming later on the card. And next we had Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles, which to me was such a great match, such a fun match.
Oh yeah.
They just had a counter and a counter for everything they were doing, man. And every match, like every move had a detail and like just the way they did it. The calf crusher on Seth Rollins was awesome, knowing his history. They explained pretty well early in the match that when he did the Ushigoroshi, where he hit his knee and everything, like on Seth Rollins' back or neck, that he has neck issues or has had neck issues. Like they did a really well job with it. My favorite spot of the whole night was when Seth went for the power bomb, and I'm not for the power bomb, for the curb stomp, and
Yes.
AJ Styles turned it into a Styles clash, and his arms were bent. I'm like, oh my god, Seth Rollins lost.
I was screaming.
I couldn't believe it.
And I don't know if you know,
Uh-huh.
but this match actually happened 15 years ago in a high school gym. Back on like the indie scene, it was Seth against AJ, and AJ did win that match.
So they're one for one. Now we can maybe have another WrestleMania match.
Yeah. So this was a win 15 years in the making.
Hey, I mean, the storyline wasn't 15 years in the making, but basically, yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great. All right. So, and then another thing was, I like how Seth Rollins has been changing up his moveset. It's not always the same. Not just like suicide dive, like jumping. He hit a reverse Falcon Arrow. You could say
Oh yeah.
that was cool. That was really cool.
Yeah, a lot of athleticism in this match. It was just action packed and
That was
so fast paced.
great match, man. And I thought when it was over and AJ Styles lost, I really thought that he was gonna turn on him when he came back into the ring. And just the show of respect was just like you could feel it. You could feel these competitors.
Oh yeah.
So Seth won in a great match. So then the Lucha House Party comes out because they kind of troll us because it's Kofi and Xavier Woods talking about how now it's their turn to shine and how they're gonna show everybody what like they can prove and like that basically what Kofi earned was on his own, and it wasn't just because of his friends. Like he deserved that. Like whenever his first chance that he ever got, like he accomplished what he had to do, which he did. Really
Oh
cool.
yeah.
So then, but like then the Lucha House Party comes out, and they're like, it's a six man tag team match. I'm like, who are they facing?
Yeah.
I was like,
The
why are they
Shield.
out here? Just when they come out, Lars Sullivan comes out and he just demolishes them all. Gives him one of them a headbutt and like is
Yeah,
busted open.
and then he just throws them all over the ground and like
Kills him.
ragdolls.
Kills him. Murders him. And then so he murders them. He leaves. Build up as a freak. And then we have the Kofi versus KO match, which you can chime in.
All right, so this match was okay. Um, I definitely like KO as like a. I guess he's considered like a heel now again.
Yeah, he's been a
Um,
heel. Yeah.
yeah, like it's so much better. The whole thing with him being in the New Day was like garbage. Big O, like come on. So, you know, they're going back and forth like right as it starts. Punching them. Throw them over the ring. At one point it was pretty funny where they're up on the top turnbuckle, and then Kevin Owens comes up. He throws Kofi off, and he hits the cameraman, and you can tell he didn't mean to because KO was like shocked. It was just kind of funny at the moment, like what's going on. And I like KO how he was using the stunner like Stone Cold. He failed the first two times, but then he did it towards the end. Um, Kofi hit the SOS and then Trouble in Paradise. And also, Xavier Woods was barred from ringside, so this was just strictly one-on-one, no help interference, which
I
is
thought that was good. I thought it
good.
was really good.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Kofi retained, which I think that should have happened because I think they can really build up this rivalry and maybe lead into SummerSlam.
I think that'd be dragging out too much. I think they will
Or
just
maybe
maybe just a one
Extreme
and done.
Rules. Yeah, maybe. Um, Because as for Daniel Bryan, I don't know if he's going to be back in the picture or who else will join the picture. I'd like to see Mustafa Ali maybe get in that picture, but you never know. We'll see.
Mustafa Ali
Um,
stole the show today, man. He really did.
yeah, yeah, he did. He deserves to be this, champion. So maybe he can be in the title picture. Maybe you
Yeah.
never know. I give this match. I'd say I give it a B. I mean, it was alright.
Yeah, it was. I would give it a B as well. I the first half of the match until Seth Rollins and AJ Styles came out like completely turned the match, the whole show around.
Oh
Which
yeah,
wow, they have some stars right there. Like I mean, those guys are already big stars. AJ Styles has always been a big star,
oh
but
yeah,
those guys really changed the whole time of this pay per view because the pay per view to me in the beginning I was just like, oh man, this is not looking forward to it. And I just like remembered all the matches afterwards, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
we have to get through all these matches, which they ended at 10:30, which was great.
yeah. It wasn't too long. Like like Mania going to 12:30 at night. Like this is a pretty good length for the pay per view.
Yeah. Well, I guess that wraps it up. Do you have any more thoughts?
Um, do we need to cover anything else? I think
Uh tonight, not really.
that's it.
Not
Yeah, I
tonight.
mean,
Good.
it was okay. I mean, I'm looking forward to I'm probably not even gonna watch the next pay per view because I'm not even interested in that, dude.
Super Showdown? Nobody is, bro. That's just a
Yeah,
whole throwaway thing that they
like
do for Saudi Arabia.
Goldberg versus Undertaker that happened 10, 15 years ago. But
Yeah, I don't want to see
you
that. It's
know,
gonna be a 2 minute match.
yeah.
I don't want to
So
see
yeah,
Undertaker lose because Goldberg is ripped.
dude, he's jacked.
Yeah, he's jacked for his age, dude. He's a freak. He should face Lars Sullivan, and Lars Sullivan should beat him to like really cement who he is.
That's what I was thought the same thing as well, dude.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I have to
Yeah,
say, they were saying Saudi Arabia, the whatever it's called, the
they said
bigger
yeah,
show,
Super
bigger than
Showdown.
WrestleMania or is equal to. I was like, oh God, stop, please.
Yeah, well, because it makes more money than Mania.
Yeah, but still, like God, it's for
Yeah,
propaganda, my dude. Stop, please. The 50-man
I
Royal
know.
Rumble, no. But yeah,
Yeah.
so that's about it for the show. I don't really have any more thoughts. Do you have any more thoughts before we close out the show?
Now we're good, man.
All right. Thank you, everyone for listening to the Money in the Bank review from me, Henry, and Ryan. We'll be back probably tomorrow night to have our Monday night review. I look forward to have a lot more things with Ryan. We're planning some things. Really haven't got to discuss a lot more, but we're planning some things about with and other promotions. So we'll probably have
Yeah.
a couple shows this week with Money in the Bank tonight, Raw, SmackDown, and AEW. So probably do that.
All right, man.
All
Looking
right.
forward to it.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Stay blessed. Bye.